This tutorial will walk you through how to use the library's Discovery Search Catalog to find a book or ebook resource at Emporia State. So I am going to click into the Discovery Search Catalog, and this will actually take me to the advanced search. If you want to do the basic search, you can actually just click into the basic search to minimize the features, but we like to use the advanced search because that adds more fields for you to use. There's more search options for you to use to start your research with. So up here at the top I have my search engine, and I'm going to just put in my search topic here, and I'm doing a research project on Amelia Earhart. So I'm going to just put in her name here, and I can use the selective field if I want to. This kind of minimizes your results a little bit. For some topics, this might be helpful if you're looking for a specific author or a title. Also, if you use something down here called abstracts, that means that it's only going to look in the abstract of the resource for that topic. Subject terms is also an interesting field to use as a filter, because that will only look at this as a subject term, and I'll kind of show where those are at here in a minute. So I'm going to just leave this blank so that it looks at everything, and I'm going to click the search. So this shows where all of my results are at right here at the top. So there's about 37,000 on my specific topic. And over here on the left side, I have all of my filters. So I can limit to ESU has it is already selected. So it's only showing what's available at Emporia State. But if I uncheck that, then it's going to open up that search and show me resources that I might have to interlibrary loan. And interlibrary loan is free for all students, faculty, and staff at Emporia State. It's just something that we we'll have to use to connect with another library to see if we can borrow their resource. So other filters that you might use, full text or peer-reviewed, if you're trying to find articles such as scholarly articles. There's the print books only and ebooks only if you needed to filter to find those types of resources. Other filters you might be interested in are the publication date, filter by format, which is helpful especially if you're looking for something like music, sheet music, or if you're looking for videos. This helps you kind of narrow down those results quickly. This isn't usually a common filter used for these types of topics, like this kind of basic topic, because for biography, I'm looking for books, journals, really anything, news articles, so I don't necessarily want to filter those unless I'm doing something more specific. Then here are a couple of other filter options: filter by subject, publisher, publication, language, geography. Filter by library location is an interesting one if you're looking for resources only available at the Resource Center, which is in Visser Hall, or in the Science, Math, and Education Center. So you can see from my specific search that there are a couple of books there. So if I didn't want to have to leave the William Allen White Library building and I only wanted to look at what was available in that collection, then I would narrow down that search to just that collection. Or if I was over in Visser Hall and I only wanted to see what was in the Resource Center, that would be where I would connect to that. So here are my search results. I have a research starter topic here. Not every topic is going to have a research starter. This is mostly for the pretty broad common topics, and this just gives an overview of what my topic is about. So this is a pretty much information about that. Here's some additional resources that I might look into for research. If you do find a page like this for your research topic, it's kind of a golden ticket for research. It has a lot of really great starter information. But right here at the top, you'll see that here's a book source, but it's available at Visser Hall, so I would actually have to go to the Resource Center to pick this book up. So I'm going to skip that and go to the second one, which talks about the library, and this is located on Deck 4. Here's the call number, and it is available. If I click into this record, it's going to give me additional information about this. So here's those subject terms I was talking about. If there was a topic that I was struggling with finding research for, I might consider one of the resources that I have found for it and what subject terms are being used, and I might click into those to kind of help lead my research. So this is obviously giving me other pilots, other female pilots, since that was the keywords, but I'm also seeing information about Amelia Earhart in here as well. So that might be a really good way of finding additional information later on. Of course, I have my abstract here. You can see that my keywords are bolded, and that kind of helps me understand how this is connected to my research that I am doing as my search terms. And then down here at the bottom is again the locations and if it's available, where it's located at. And so it says that this is from the EBSCO database catalog, which is the one that we're in right now. A few other features you might be interested in are over here at the right. You can submit this record to Google Drive and it would just download this record itself. If you were doing like a journal article, then it will also download that PDF that's attached to it. You can also add to your folder if you were logged in, which is a separate video that I will link to the bottom description of this video if you're interested in why you might want to have a library account for doing research. Finally, there is the citation tool, and of course citation tools are not 100% accurate, but they at least help guide you as you're creating your source citation. So here we have my citation in APA, I have it in Chicago, and then I have it in MLA, so I can copy and paste those for my research topic. Finally, if you wanted to share this record, maybe you needed to share this with some students, your peers that you're doing a group project with, or maybe you're wanting to submit this to a professor to see if it's an appropriate resource for your research, you would need to use the permalink. So the issue with using the URL that you would find at the top in your browser is that's a timed URL, so it's not going to stay active for, I think it's only timed for about 10-15 minutes, so it's not going to last very long. And that basically means if you share it and somebody clicks on it later, it's not going to take them anywhere. It's going to be a dead link. So you need to use the permalink to share, because this is a customized individual link for this specific record, so it will not be timed and it will not die out unless the record is updated later on. So that is basically an overview of how to use the library catalog. It's the basics. We will have additional videos to walk you through how to use some of the other features in the catalog, such as the ones up here, publication finder and my library account. So if you have questions, please contact the library reference desk.